Hi everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks so much for joining us as we track the remnants of what was Cyclone Donna. The storm fell apart quite quickly on Wednesday as it tried to leave the New Caledonia area. It ran into this monster high pressure system just to New Zealand's east, and it fell apart quite quickly. However, I've chosen this particular wind map to show the moisture because it is actually going to turn into a new system and develop into a new low pressure system quite quickly over the next day and track very close, if not over, some parts of northern New Zealand, and then it will deepen into a whole new storm system east of us. So the rain map here shows Ella up here in the tropics, bit of heavy rain in it, so you start to realize the colouring of this rain band is similar. This is tropical in nature. It's going to be very heavy rain for an already saturated North Island that's wetter than average from 2 ex-cyclones and a couple of subtropical flood events that we've already had just in the last couple months. This is the latest tracking. Now, like I say, it is no longer a cyclone, but there are still a number of agencies around the world that are tracking where it might go. This is from the Canadians. Now, the Canadians have actually been, I think, the most accurate at the specific tracking over the last day or so of where this might go. They picked this closer sort of run by New Zealand. Now, sadly, we don't have anything from our government, but we've got Australians, the US, European Union, the Japanese, and lots of different countries pulling their resources together and open data that we can share with you here. And so this is what we're going to show you as the storm comes on in. Well, it's sort of, like I say, it's not really a storm, it's turning into one though, again, as it tracks towards us. So at this stage, it's mostly rain that we're focused on. It's a rainstorm, really. There'll be a bit of wind because, as I say, it's deepening as it comes in towards us. So all the rain here, this is mostly from the Tasman Sea. Here's Donna, the remnants of it, and the two emerging. There's a fair bit of wind, but unlike, when they're a cyclone, the wind is the worst around the center. But when they come down to our part of the world and they transition out of that, the worst of the winds can actually be in between where the low is and where the next high is. So very windy over here in the Tasman and very windy over here. And that's because there's a big high to the east and a really big high over Australia, and this low is coming in and deepening. This is for 6 o'clock this evening, Thursday evening. Now we go to lunchtime Friday, and you can see it's deepening further as it comes on in, but there's a sort of a stretched nature to it. So the winds may not be so bad actually over land. The worst of the winds are way out at sea going all the way around it, as I just said, between these big highs to the east and well out to the west. There's a colder southerly coming into the South Island. You've got a few showers on that east coast and pretty wet stuff through the North Island right through Friday, especially northern and eastern areas, and there could be some flooding as a result of it. Hopefully the wind won't be too much of a concern, but the wind might be more of a concern as we move through to midnight Friday. This is the midnight Friday setup. So the low is east of Northland. It's deepening still. Big strong winds now coming through. There could be gales in some areas. And the rain, very heavy around eastern areas, but it is starting to move out to sea. And that colder wind around the South Island keeps things mostly dry for you. Okay, let's go into the weekend now. Lunchtime Saturday, and there's a big high out in the Tasman that's pushing in across the South Island and acting like a bulldozer. It is trying to push Donna, or the remnants of Donna, away. So as Donna moves out into the Pacific, as you can see here, it deepens quite a bit off to the east coast. Big strong winds will then be coming in, and they'll be cold around Hawke's Bay and Gisborne with rain or showers, but hopefully the sun comes out for many other places. And look at this, lunchtime Sunday, and big high out here in the Tasman. Donna though, the remnants of it, really big system out there in the east, but hopefully it's not affecting us weather-wise too much in New Zealand. There might still be a bit of a southerly here with a few showers just around those eastern areas. So it is pretty messy, and because the low is actually deepening and going through a whole new transition, it is very hard to be specific about timing, exact tracking, where the worst winds will be. So the best thing is to be fairly generic, to basically say the upper North Island, you're at risk the most, I guess, from the heavy rain, but really most people across the whole North Island and maybe some parts of the south should all be monitoring what might happen over the next couple of days, but at least the weekend is looking a little bit more positive, finally. That is all from me. We'll update you again on Friday with the latest, and of course, we'll update you again at weatherwatch.co.nz this afternoon as the system gets closer.